We structured our season selection at Villanova as a town hall, at least in the beginning. And one of the groups that I was in, the Bakkhai was one of the plays on the table, and someone else had put it on the table. So I was like, oh, so I think our community is also interested in this story.
Bakkhai seemed like a great choice to start. Something seemed really apt about opening a brand new theater complex by looking back to ancient Greece where theater began. That seemed kind of poetic. So our plan all along was to have this be the first production in the Courtyard Theater, our default setting in the new Mullins Center. But the pandemic had other plans. And so our production committee came up with the notion of commissioning 5 Villanova alumni playwrights to write short plays based on Anne Carson's Bakkhai,
to try to help people who had lost work. And, we could have commissioned one person to do something, but we commissioned 5 people.
I really struggled in the first few months of the quarantine to really kind of find my artistic footing. Honestly, I think the commission was a real gift in that sense, that the idea of having to strictly write for a virtual medium, the idea of it strictly being connected to this ancient text, it opened it up in a way that it no longer felt like a constriction. It felt like, here's the game, here's the puzzle.
As it happens, we wound up abandoning the other avenues in terms of producing Bakkhai, and our 5 plays came back fantastic.
They had done such a great job of taking the themes of the play and bringing them really, really, really into the present tense.
No one will believe the story, my story. No one believes women.
It's like they feel like very contemporary conversations.
The reason why I continue to defend it is because ultimately call-out culture is the only power that the disempowered have left.
Thinking about what it means to be an outsider.
Yes, it is one of the many sexual identities being recognized and embraced today, at least among the younger folk.
You're not talking about those trans people, are you?
Transgender is speaking to someone's gender identity. No, this is sexual identity.
About exile and what does it mean to be alone, which is fabulous to think about right now.
Exile is not isolation. One is imposed, the other is chosen.
What it means to be someone who's different and how people treat you in that respect.
I'd be betraying another Black woman. You will never understand what that means. That might not be a big deal to you, but it is to me.
And all of that stuff is so rife and so interesting. And I feel like each of these plays explores a facet of that.
A girl is born into subjugation, into control.
I suddenly felt like I really wanted to do them, but I didn't think I could do them all myself.
I think it's a really special piece.
Exactly. It's an important play.
Because they're just so big.
Because a play like this needs a full-throated effort.
Each one is really, really full of ideas and possibilities of how to make them.
But we're not accustomed to making theater in a digital way. We're really good at making live theater. So this was a brand new terrain, and I couldn't be more excited about the teams we're assembling, which include, in addition to James, who's directing 2 of the 5 pieces, 3 outside directors, Ty Verley, Kat Ramirez, and Malika Uyetimin, who are taking on the other plays.
Working with a piece that was written specifically for Zoom felt like a real blessing, because it helped to really zero in on what is the reality of living in this box where we live, because we live in boxes now.
They're written for a platform that has some liveness to it, but is not what we're used to in terms of what we think about theater.
We're moving from writing for a stage space, this giant big open space, and then trying to figure out how you're going to write a story that fits into a box this big. What that actually led me to do was to refocus on what I could absolutely control as a writer, which was the language itself. There is an incredible amount of intimacy that is possible through this medium.
It's such an emerging art form. Because sure, we've done, we've recorded things before, on stage, but there's something particular about the inventiveness and the innovations, the risks that we're taking in kind of exploring this hybridization of theater and film.
I think bringing in the outside artists for me has been really exciting, because there's perspectives just energize the way we do things.
Like they took this raw material of the Bakkhai, this wet fruit of a play, and they made wine and olive oil and, you know, and then splattered it all over the place and had a great time. I just love it.